1 2 1 2. Is this thing on? I'm back, making my way through The Artist's Way book by Julia Cameron, week 2. And I'm just gonna jump right in. So, as always, the first question for the check-in is how many days did I do my morning pages and just what do I think about them right now. I did them 6 out of 7 days. I wanted to count all 7, but for one, I just did like a voice note, like to myself, essentially. And I know the point is to write, so I didn't count all 7 days. It's definitely helpful, but if I'm not intentional about it, other things will definitely take like precedent, which is kind of just like the theme of this week. I feel like I want to use more of my energy to be creative. Like, I think that was a theme across a lot of the pages this week. And I want to use more of my energy towards my art, creativity, but it's all being used to survive right now. Survive mentally, emotionally, financially. And I think a lot of people could relate to that, but I'm just trying to navigate that. Like, I'm literally just trying to navigate, okay, well, I was about to say you're always going to be surviving something, but I rebuke that. I want to be thriving. Like, I fully believe I deserve peace, a peaceful, non-stressful, non-survival life. And so I just feel like a lot of my energy this week a lot of my mental energy, physical energy has just been put towards survival, and that really diminishes my like focus, motivation, towards my creative journey, artistic things as a whole. Oh yeah, I know the point. The point of them, of the morning pages, is that it's like a stream of consciousness, kind of like whatever comes to mind type of thing. But I still find myself almost like editing as I'm writing them. Like, she makes a really specific point to say that the morning pages are not to be seen by anyone else. Like, they're literally just for you. And I still find myself feeling like things need to be put in a specific order, or that it needs to be phrased a certain way. And that's a common theme whenever I try to like journal for a consistent period of time. I find myself like editing almost, instead of just literally writing whatever comes to mind. And so I'm gonna try to work on that for this week, but it's just something I noticed. I think I found myself feeling like, oh, this is stupid. But I didn't feel like that the first week, or I didn't feel like that as much the first week, and I really think it's just a drained energy. Like, 3 page, like I would sit down some days to go do it, and like, okay, sure, 3 pages sounds like a lot, or sounded like a lot the first week, but it was like, okay, like, you're excited to do it. This week, I would go sit down at that notepad, like, okay, girl, 3 pages, like, are you sure? 3 pages? Like, so as soon as that, like, energy is depleted, my, like, not just motivation, but, like, my perspective on doing it almost like complete 180. So I'm trying to figure out how to like compartmentalize, or even just write that down. Like, I don't want to be doing this for a page and a half and see what happens. But I just noticed that as soon as that energy starts depleting, or energy has to go other places, my perspective and like positive outlook on doing the morning pages went away. Next is Oh, did I do my artist dates this week? Yes, I'm trying to do multiple, kinda, because I guess I'm considering the things that I'm doing as artist dates small. Um, yeah, I think across these first 2 weeks, I think subconsciously I'm in the back of my head like, no, you're doing the morning pages wrong. You're doing the artist dates wrong. Um, and there's not really any like, there's a guideline to what you can consider them or what they should be, but I think the whole point is that they can be whatever you would like them to be. And so to be subconsciously saying that to myself, I think is almost the point to point that out, like pull that out of yourself, like you're not doing, it's just for you. Like how could you be doing it wrong if it's just for you? So one, like I said last week, I listened to the Janelle Monáe's Arc Android album, and this week I re-listened to the Electric Lady album. Again, I'm gonna tell you to go listen to that album. Bass, horns, plot, storyline. I always feel like when I'm listening to Janelle Monáe albums that I can see the movie that's happening, like the story she's trying to create or the story they're trying to create. I can see it. Like I could see it in 2013 and I can still see it now. Just creating characters and storylines, and just good ass music. Like literally a good bass and some horns and I'm set. Always. I also watched the Court of Gold documentary on Netflix. It's the documentary about following the men's Olympic basketball tournament. And I thought it was just really, really interesting. I've always liked basketball, but specifically, I'm going to enjoy anything that's going to give me a closer look or understanding of like body movement and just the mindset and approach of people doing something at the highest level. And I really enjoyed that it followed multiple teams. I thought it was only going to follow the USA team, but it followed like Serbia, France, Canada, Team USA, and I feel like I'm definitely forgetting one more, but it just following and seeing the different mindsets and approaches of each team, like per matchup, before and after, how they prepare, how they recover, has always been really interesting to me, and I love that we got like a really, really in-depth look into it. They even say in the documentary that they've never had that level of access before, especially for multiple teams, and it was just really, really cool. I found myself trying to just make different connections to when the times in my life I thought I was the most focused on my like creativity and my artistry, and I would say the most that was in like my high school dance school years, some in college too, but my like most focused I would say was definitely those like high school years, and just trying to figure out what connections I can make, how I could possibly relate, and just seeing like everyone's love and different approaches to competition and how people's like competitive spirit shows up in different ways. You could just be a calm, quiet, like leader, like I'm gonna let my game, so to speak, or my work, my dancing, do the talking. Some of them are vocal, some of them are kind of dickheads about it. Like it, even if I didn't quote unquote like it, it was nice to see how it shows up in different people. And I was even talking to a friend about just those like older class days, and I was talking about how I loved like the competition of being in class and being like, okay, well, I know this person has the combo. Let me stand next to them and see if I could keep up. Like, and it was so funny because they were like, oh, I hated that. And I think it's so easy when you're in a group of like-minded people or like people that have a similar interest to think that your mindset around something is also going to be the same. So it was interesting to be like, oh, I didn't even consider that you could not like that part of class. Like, and so it was a nice like note to myself, like, okay, then like, oh, okay, like, yeah, no, I enjoy competition in that sense, or trying to make connections about the type of leader I felt like I was. And I feel like I was I'm in class to be in class. Like, I didn't have a job, but I was treating it like my job. Like, I cared about details and technique, and I was dedicated, and I think that showed up. I think when I felt like there were times I either wasn't getting the respect I deserved as a dancer or needed to go like take it, like I enjoy being kind. Like, I'm going to be the person that's showing up to dance class and rehearsal with the extra fruit, and I got 2 other pairs of tights and tap shoes in my bed. Like, I like being the person that people can go to, whether it's for like something physical they need, or like, okay, I know Jada has the combination, let me go ask her. I know Jada knows what the next step is, let me go ask her. I liked being helpful in that sense, or I liked being a leader in that sense of being the one you can ask, being the one that hopefully has it, and it's not going to be like a hassle to come and ask me to go over it again, to do something else again. I liked that responsibility in class, in rehearsal, but also know that I was there. Like, we had our times, of course, hopefully every class or group did, where like, no, we're here to play and joke around, but I think it was almost funny how much I was like, okay, but we're in class. Like, okay, but what's the step? Like, okay, but you not having the step is going to affect all of us, but mainly me later. So let's get it together. Let's get it together. But yeah, I just loved, I always love anything related to the Olympics, but especially it's such a great, just in terms of like aesthetics and the differences across countries in terms of colors, dress. It's just great storytelling. I also just love documentaries. As much as Netflix get on my nerves, they know how to eat a documentary up. I love it so much. I feel like I could see myself participating in, like contributing to a documentary in some sense, either in like the film aspect, in like a cinematography or like editing sense. I love documentaries so much. But especially because this one was like a close-up of their preparation, of their bodies, of it. Again, anything surrounding a body movement, I feel like it's always gonna pique interest for me. And it was just a great combination of a lot of my interests. And so I definitely enjoyed both of those. Just intentionality, I feel like, was the theme of my week. Not even just surrounding this, just around other like conversations and other relationships, like just having to be intentional. That like, I find so much time passes me if I'm not intentional. I feel like so much time passes if I'm not intentional about what I'm going to use the time I have for, which is like, can be very like okay, I'm gonna wash the dishes, I need to do my laundry, and if I don't like say that and plan that out, then I'm just sitting around deciding what I should do and then never doing it. And it can be as small as that, or as large as like, okay, you're just sitting in the house worried, and now weeks, months, years have passed you by. Yeah, I think survival and intentionality have just been the overarching themes, the things that just keep coming up. And it's hard to navigate, trying to navigate it. But just telling myself to try to be more intentional about everything I do, honestly. I think going back to my morning pages, trying to tell myself not to sugarcoat any part of the process, I think that was another theme for me, especially in those older, like high school, dance school times of I enjoyed being in class and rehearsal more than I enjoyed show day. Like I loved the process of class. I loved the process of putting the piece together, getting it right, getting it wrong. And somewhere along the way, somewhere along these years, I've found myself not disliking the process, but not even not even giving process the time of day. Like I just think I lost that. I forgot that somewhere along the way of how much I did enjoy the process, and just trying to find those things about that process that I love that I can hopefully carry over into dance again, and just all the other creative things I want to do. Yeah, trying to enjoy the process again. And not to sugarcoat it. It's not always going to be cute, I think. Even with how much I enjoyed and remember those times, like class was not always fun. Like class was not always just a breeze. Like I was dedicated and I worked hard, so it may have been at times easier for me than peers, but I could go through like each dance school I attended and be like, nope, I remember that sucked. That sucked. That was great. But it was definitely not always easy by any means, but I still loved it. I was still going there and wanted to be there. And so just trying to find the things from that time that I can carry over into my creativity as an adult. Yeah, I wrote down trying to get back to who I was mentally, mindset, focus, drive. And I always have to acknowledge that that's easier said than done, because in high school I wasn't paying for things. I wasn't taking and driving myself places. So it was, of course, a lot easier to focus on the craft and the process, because those other things were getting taken care of. And I think that's really a goal. It's a goal for myself. It's a goal for the other like creative endeavors I want to pursue, that like, while yes I was a child, that there is something to taking care of the outliers for artists, so they have the ability, the time, the want to focus on the art that they are creating. And it's something I really want to be able to do for myself and just other artists. I think many people could relate to, no, I have bills to pay, so that painting's gonna wait, that dance is gonna wait, that song is gonna wait. And I think that's relatable. I wish it wasn't, but I can definitely relate to it. So I'm hoping, I know somebody else can. And I know that so much of creativity and so much of art can be and is like created out of necessity, out of survival. Um, but I want to, while I want to develop that skill, I want to develop like the callus almost to be like, no, I'm stronger than this. I also don't want to have to do that all the time. I want to be able to create out of peace and thriving and desire and curiosity, not because it is a not because it's like the absolute only thing I can pull from, like the only way I can feel, the only way, like just out of struggle and survival, I think creates beautiful art. But I think a lot of we focus on that because we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. And I think if we were able to provide that stability for ourselves, for others, that I can't say more beautiful art, but just a different type of art. I think different perspectives of art could come if we were more able to create from sheer curiosity and desire, joy, peace. I wanted to see if there was anything else in the chapter that stuck out or that I want to carry into the next week and leave you all with. Okay, so there's a couple. Often creativity is blocked by our falling in with other people's plans for us. And the essential element in nurturing our creativity lies in nurturing ourselves. I think it's really easy to get distracted, or I think it's really easy to have the course of your life change and you don't really realize it, or if you do, you think like the path you thought you would be on is like right here and you're actually like 3, 4, 5 roads over. And yeah, just to be aware of where I'm at, where I'm going, where I'm trying to get to, where I've been. Just not to dwell on it. I'm good for a rumination, overthinking of things, but it's because I really want to understand all of those things. I want to understand where I've been, where I'm going, where I want to go, and just trying to find the balance in that. The thing that really stood out, especially with my talking about the things I want to do for other artists and trying to get back to enjoying the process, it's 3 things she mentions in this section. Repeat. The great creator has gifted us with creativity. Our gift back is our use of it. As well as, soon enough, you will be a bridge that will allow others to cross over from self-doubt into self-expression. And lastly, you will learn to enjoy the process of being a creative channel and to surrender your need to control the result. The process, not the product, will become your focus. That was probably the biggest for me. Again, I don't like to say I don't like, but it's the truth sometimes, in that I don't really enjoy relinquishing control of things, of situations, perception, things like that. And that's like 80% of the job, right? Is being perceived, putting yourself out there, and living with the result. And that's what I'm trying to get back to. I think that's what a lot of this book and journey is going to be for me. Reminding myself of what I loved about the process and learning how to relinquish control. Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna stop for week 2. I have Thanksgiving coming up, so week 3 will probably be in like the beginning of December when I can get through that week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing my family. I'm a little dejected as I record this though because our family dog Dexter just passed away. But I'm looking forward to seeing my family, cracking some jokes, eating some good food. And I will be back soon with week 3. Yeah, thank you for watching. Yeah.